Now, in high definition, this is News 6 at 5.
Good evening, this is News 6 at 5. I'm Nicole Marks. It is Inauguration Eve. President-elect Obama is less than 24 hours away from becoming the nation's 44th president and the first African-American to hold the highest office in the land. This is also Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and the president-elect honored his legacy by calling on Americans to serve others. Obama rolled up his own sleeves to help paint a homeless shelter today.
Don't underestimate the power for people who join together to accomplish amazing things.
Mrs. Obama also pitched in today, helping to write letters to U.S. troops overseas. Among those witnessing history, Illinois politicians. Our live coverage begins tonight with News 6's political editor, Carol Maureen, live in Washington. Carol?
As Barack Obama prepares to be sworn in tomorrow, our story. Coming up at 6 o'clock, my political partner Marianne Ahern will be here. She had a long conversation today with presidential advisor Valerie Jarrett. That's coming up at 6.
Carol, thank you. Now what happens after the swearing in and when Obama's administration begins? Joining us now is Jonathan Atler, NBC political analyst, and Obama is reading his book on FDR's first 100 days. Good evening to you. What do you think Obama can learn from the FDR after reading the book that you wrote?
Well, I think Obama is already learning lessons from FDR. He has called this period in our history a defining moment. Those were the words he used in Grant Park on election night. And that's the title of my book about Franklin Roosevelt in this period in 1933, because those were both pivot points. 1933, 2009. Do we go one direction or do we stay on the road that we're on? And both Roosevelt and Obama decided to go in a different direction. What Obama has already learned is that the American public expects you to take what Roosevelt called action and action now. And Obama has already used those exact words in speeches. He knows that every day he has to get up and at least try to solve the problem. Throw different things against the wall, see what sticks. That's FDR's big lesson for Obama.
And as you have written, when John F. Kennedy was inaugurated, in his speech, Schlesinger wrote the 1,000 Days reference. They use that quite a bit to kind of lower expectations. Do you think that President-elect Obama will try anything like that tomorrow?
The Obama folks really don't like this 100 days frame that Roosevelt started. They want to be judged more on what happens in the first 8-9 months of their administration. They don't think they can get their major objectives all accomplished in just a 3.5-month period. So you're gonna see them trying to counsel patience on the agenda. But they understand that just as in basketball, you've got to put points on the board early, because a president doesn't have a lot of time to get much accomplished. So you can expect a very busy 2009 as they move their agenda on Capitol Hill with a lot of help from Rahm Emanuel and Dick Durbin. Illinois is right in the thick of major historical events.
Jonathan Atler, NBC political analyst, thank you for joining us. We'll have more on the preparations for the Obama inauguration coming up with Brian Williams and NBC Nightly News live from Washington, D.C. That begins tonight at 5:30. With millions of people converging on Washington, crowd control is a huge concern, and a local expert has been tapped to provide expertise on keeping the inauguration a safe one. Here's News 6's Phil Rogers.
As Washington prepares for this biggest of big events,
that no one in the city of Washington is going to have bad intent or have a weapon of some kind.
Our thanks to Phil. He also tells us that everything has been measured. Authorities are planning for 4 people per square meter of space on the National Mall, and that will be a very tight fit. Coming up, among the millions turning out in D.C., a group of Chicago students so very excited to take part in this history lesson firsthand.
Get a photo?
Sure.
I'm from Slovakia.
Sure. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
And people are doing double takes here. Meet a Chicago lookalike turning heads wherever he goes. The Lincolnshire daycare where a toddler was killed has reopened today. Police say 22-year-old Melissa Kalzinski admitted to throwing 16-month-old Benjamin Kingen to the ground, reportedly because he was being too noisy. She's charged with first-degree murder. This morning it appeared to be business as usual at the Minisubi Daycare Center. There was a steady stream of cars dropping off children. Police say the center had a spotless record until last week. A reward is being offered tonight for any information on 2 vandalized synagogues. Derogatory statements were found spray painted on the exterior walls of the synagogues last week, one in the 2700 block of West Morris, the other in 6500 block of North California.
There is no place in our city for acts of bigotry, particularly when they rise to the level of dangerous and hateful attacks.
The Jewish Federation and Anti-Defamation League are offering a $20,000 reward for the information leading to those responsible for the vandalism. Last year, there were 72 hate crimes reported to Chicago police. Change of plans for customers heading to a Washington Mutual branch. 57 Chicago locations are closing. JP Morgan bought out WAMU a year ago and said this is just the first wave of branch closings. Affected customers will receive notification by mail and will be able to conduct business at all Chase locations. People are reportedly using Apple's App Store in droves. The store is where you can download applications for the popular iPhone and iPod Touch. Apple says 500 million applicants were downloaded since the App Store opened in July. Some of the applications are free, but most cost money, generally less than $10. And who is happy these days? Coming up next, a new survey on happiness with results that may surprise you.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Congrats, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Do it
I
up
appreciate
today,
it.
man. Do it up. That's
Thank you. I'm
awesome.
going to try. Thanks, guys.
And he seems to make people happy wherever he goes. Meet a certain presidential lookalike when we come back. Could it be the president-elect spotted in Chicago today? Take a closer look and you can see that it wasn't Barack Obama, but rather someone who looks a whole lot like him. A young Chicago guy who, as News 6's Charlie Wojciechowski discovered today, cannot seem to walk 10 feet without discovering a crowd.
The face is one of the most familiar in the world.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Congrats, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Do it up today, man. Do it up. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. I'm gonna try.
But it doesn't belong to Barack Obama.
Sorry?
Yes.
Can you get a photo?
Sure.
Meet Reggie Brown, a 28-year-old Chicago area man who bears an uncanny resemblance to the president-elect.
People tell me I look like Barack every day, so we're having some fun with it.
We get some serious fun with that.
And Reggie, who works for a downtown restaurant and blogs for NBCChicago.com, is having a blast. Even on a simple walk down Michigan Avenue.
How you doing?
Almost every head turned, and almost every question was the same.
Can I get a picture of you too? Would you mind taking it?
Leaving this reporter to play photographer.
So that happens a lot, huh?
Yeah. Yep, anytime. Like, especially when I wear a suit.
How's it look?
Reggie is hoping to parlay his looks and his talent into an acting career. He already has an agent and this comedy video on YouTube.
My goal as president is to put a smile on every face across America.
Reggie's goals are much more humble.
To put together 45 minutes to an hour's worth of material, to have some fun at corporate events, hopefully make it to finally meet Barack. I mean, I've been a fan of his for a very long time, and it seems we're always crossing paths. So, end result, I want to meet you, Barack, one of these days. Maybe play some basketball, something like that, because I know that we have some common interests.
Shared interests and a shared face. On Michigan Avenue, Charlie Wojciechowski.
Oh wow, I just love that story. Jake, today was a nicer day, not as cold as last week, but everyone is wondering about the weather in DC too.